Hello! Welcome to Polymath-ish. I'm your host, Storm Hardy, and one of my biggest pet peeves is when people say that money spent on space is money lost, and we should be doing more for the planet instead. This is a vast misunderstanding of how progress works. Most technologies humans invent come from ordinary, typical pressures like comfort, efficiency, profit, or convenience. Those give you incremental progress, but they rarely force you to reimagine the physics, materials, or systems from the ground up. That is where space comes in. Space is different. Space is the most alien pressure humans have ever deliberately placed on ourselves. It's a domain where every constraint is dialed far beyond anything on Earth would naturally require. Let me show you some technologies that have been invented solely or in part by NASA and its space travel attempts. In space, no one can hear you eat. Well, they can if you are in the same shuttle as you, but that ruins the joke. While NASA did not invent the concept of freeze-drying food, they massively increased the efficiency of the technology to feed astronauts on long missions. During the 1960s, NASA worked with US Army Natick labs to create meals that were nutritious, lightweight, non-perishable, and easy to rehydrate without crumbs. Don't want the ISS filled with a bunch of floating crumbs after all. NASA's funding and requirements led to faster rehydration methods, foods that could be prepared with room temperature water in about 10 minutes. This resulted in a variety of freeze-dried meals. The technique was later licensed and used for everyday products like instant coffee, backpacking meals, and nutritious food for homebound seniors. Today, campers and emergency preparedness kits commonly include freeze-dried foods, showing the reach of NASA's space research. But how do we get the water needed for the rehydrating process? To sustain the astronauts in space, NASA pioneered advanced water filtration and recycling. We use this technology nowadays to provide clean drinking water to areas in need. NASA engineers made systems for the International Space Station that turned wastewater, filled with sweat, urine, and condensation, into clean drinking water. This spun off into amazing water purification solutions on Earth. As an example, municipal and portable purification units employ NASA-based methods like specialized filters and silver ion disinfection to remove contaminants, kill bacteria, and even purify highly polluted sources. In underdeveloped regions, these systems are critical for providing clean water where traditional treatment is not available. If I was a betting man, when you at home use a high-end water filter or hear a disaster relief water purifier, I'd bet it uses NASA life support knowledge in some way. Are you, or have you ever been a baby? Well, you may be a beneficiary of NASA's next discovery. In the 1980s, NASA funded work on microalgae as a potential food and oxygen source for space. During this research, scientists discovered that algae could produce fatty acids like DHA and RAA. These are essential nutrients found in human breast milk. Then, a company called Martech Biosciences, which was founded by NASA researchers, developed an algae-based nutritional supplement named Formulate, containing these two essential fatty acids. It was added to infant formula to closer mimic the nutrition of breast milk. Today, over 90% of infant formulas sold in the US and across the world contain these NASA-derived algal oils. This has been a boon to infant nutrition worldwide. So even if you've never touched a rocket, you've probably carried a piece of NASA biology lab in your first few months of life. In trying to feed astronauts, NASA ended up nourishing generations. Now let's move from feeding astronauts to keeping them alive. Because when you push heat management to space levels, you get one of the most widely used emergency tools on Earth. Those shiny emergency blankets and first aid kits originate from NASA once again. In 1964, NASA developed a thin reflective aluminized mylar sheet to insulate spacecraft and spacesuits by reflecting infrared heat. This material, capable of keeping heat in or out, was later sold as the space blanket. It is a lightweight foldable foil blanket that marathon runners wrap after races and that campers and rescue teams use to prevent hypothermia. This same reflective NASA material can also be found in survival gear, winter jackets, and even inflatable party balloons, due to them holding helium longer than typical latex balloons. So next birthday party, you can thank NASA for your balloon festivities. Perhaps you have your space blanket and a first aid kit in your car. It's a long winter night, but NASA is there to help you again. The all-season or winter tires are actually results of NASA's lunar rover research. For the Apollo 14 mission in 1971, NASA engineers designed a two-wheeled cart, like a moon rickshaw. They needed tires that could stay flexible in the extreme cold of the moon. Goodyear developed a special rubber compound for these moon tires that could remain pliable at negative 195 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 120 degrees Celsius. When rubber wheels stiffen in the cold, they reduce traction, so this was necessary. Back on Earth, tire makers use NASA formulations to create better winter tires that stay soft in low temperatures. This vastly increased the car's grip on cold roads. So today, the snow tires and even all-season tires trace their cold weather resilience to this NASA spin-off. The cold isn't the only element of nature NASA has helped us defeat. When designing the space shuttle, NASA worked with Taylor Devices Incorporated to create shock absorbers that could safely disconnect fuel lines during a rocket launch, which created astronomical amounts of force and energy. Taylor Devices then adapted these high-capacity dampers as seismic absorbers for structures during earthquakes. They installed them into buildings and bridges. The devices absorb and dissipate earthquake energy, reducing the shaking of the structure. Cities across the world that are prone to earthquakes, like San Francisco or Tokyo, have incorporated this technology into buildings to help minimize damage. Speaking of disasters and earthquakes, the people who fight against these things, firefighters, are our next beneficiary of NASA technology. In 1970s, NASA and the National Bureau of Standards co-developed a lightweight breathing system for the first time in history. This was to be used on the Skylab space station. They created an aluminum composite air tank made from rocket fuel tank parts, and a face mask that provided breathable air without the bulk of other equipment. NASA also contributed to heat-resistant suit materials. The heat-shielding fabric first used to defend Apollo and the space shuttle astronauts were adapted into flame-resistant firefighter suits. These innovations mean firefighters today can wear more comfortable, flame-proof clothing and easier to carry air tanks, improving their agility and safety in emergency situations. NASA's next contribution is a connection you would never expect. The technology that helped them do an autonomous rendezvous and docking for spacecraft became vital for safe laser eye surgery. In the 1980s, NASA had started developing LiDAR systems to allow spacecraft to precisely dock with satellites. This technology could very quickly track fast-moving objects. Around the same time, LASIK surgeons needed a way to track the human eye, which can move hundreds of times a second, to guide laser vision correction. NASA's high-speed LiDAR tracking was turned into the LiDAR Vision System, which was approved in 1998. LiDAR Vision could track eye movements at 4,000 times per second during LASIK operations. Thanks to this, LASIK machines adjust for involuntary eye jitters in real time, greatly increasing the safety and precision of laser eye surgery. This next invention may arguably be NASA's most widespread spin-off technology. The tiny camera in your smartphone stems from NASA's need to miniaturize space cameras. In the 1990s, NASA JPL scientist Eric Fossum invented the CMOS active pixel sensor to create small, energy-efficient cameras for interplanetary spacecraft. He succeeded in reducing noise and improving image quality on a tiny chip. This CMOS sensor technology was later commercialized and is now used in all smartphone cameras, webcams, and many digital cameras. The invention has made high-quality cameras ubiquitous, enabling everything from casual selfies to HD video recording on mobile devices. So thanks for TikTok, Eric. NASA innovations have been incorporated into so many civilian technology on Earth. From feeding and nourishing us, to saving us in crisis, to even recording a dance video, are all thanks to NASA. So next time someone tries to tell you that NASA does not help us, send them this video. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, never stop thinking.